Welcome back to CuboldCast. Today we'll be talking about the Dark Pictures Anthology, Medan, in our second Halloween episode. And that was actually take number, 3? Because I wasn't recording the first time we did it.
Well, better catch it then than when we're
like
halfway through.
Yeah, I looked down and it wasn't being recorded.
We only talked a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about the leaves are changing.
Yeah. So when I was driving here, when I was driving here, actually I took a detour because I wanted to get a drink because I was tired. That has caffeine, but it's like green tea caffeine, which a lot of times I prefer. Rather than just normal coffee. So I was on my way here and I found myself looking around a lot, and we're all going to Vermont this weekend, and I think it's like the perfect time to go because I've heard from you guys. And that Vermont is one of the best places to go.
So many mountains everywhere you look.
It's really cool,
and we'll be staying in the mountains too, so we'll have some good views.
Yeah,
we'll be able to hike up the mountains.
Yeah. I'm excited to go hiking.
We want to go multiple times.
Yeah,
because it's so perfect, and you don't have to worry about as many ticks as you do here in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just colder, so there aren't as many pests. But it'll be perfect hoodie weather up there all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whatever happened to that? Didn't you say there was some sort of species of tick that had that?
The Lone Star tick. Yeah,
the ones that seek out.
Yeah, they're still in Connecticut, but they're more rare. I just hope they don't become common. Yeah. But I mean, the last few years have been really bad for ticks. All right, this is mosquitoes, but before COVID hit, there was triple E, Eastern Equine Encephalitis. Yeah, you would see signs of it on the highway.
Right.
Wasn't that from mosquitoes?
It was. That's what I said. Mosquitoes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, apparently it makes your brain swell up if you get bit by it. But people stopped talking about it because COVID hit, and that was more important.
What happens if your brain swells?
You're in the hospital for a while, and it's life-threatening.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the death rate?
I don't know.
Was that really smirk when you said that?
I don't know. I was
like, what's the death rate?
No. I didn't mean it in that way. I'm just curious because that's something that people ignore a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But then there's also, how fast it spreads and how many people it can get to.
Yeah, I don't think it's a virus. I think it's just mosquito-borne.
Yeah. What's weird is that, remember when? Okay, so last year we went hiking a lot in 2020.
Really? Last year?
Yeah, or at least I did.
I only went hiking in Vermont last year.
There was a few times I went hiking. I didn't go hiking a lot.
Well, I did. I went with Brian a ton of times. I mean, it was the most I've ever hiked in my life. That 1 year in the spring and in the summer, and somewhere along there I got a tick or whatever, and so I have Lyme disease. But what's weird is that I don't I don't know how it all works, but I'm not necessarily scared of ticks. It's not that I'm not anymore, because I know that if I get another one, I don't know how it works, but I'm sure it's going to worsen that or something.
If you catch it early, it's better, right?
Yeah.
The symptoms aren't as bad.
Is, yeah.
Which is weird because I had treatment for it for like a month, and then they just never followed up. So I'm going to call them again. Because this past year, I'm like different than I used to be. Because like when I go to the gym, if I work too hard, I'll get too fatigued to where I'll throw up. I've done that twice already.
That was happening when we had to wear masks at the gym.
And
I would deadlift. I would run a mile, then I would deadlift, and it was just horrible.
Yeah, you almost had me drive home that one time.
Yeah,
because you couldn't drive.
Deadlifting it takes you out.
It really does. We just do a whole day of deadlifting.
Yeah,
when we do that.
Yeah, when I do deadlifts, I don't really pair it with much of anything else.
It just takes way too much of your time or your energy.
It does.
The other thing I switched to from running, I started running a mile because I wanted to kind of build that up. And then I switched to recently stair stepping because
stair steppers are really good.
Yeah, because I've been getting like a ton of stretch marks. Like you guys seen them, but it's like I switched to that because whenever I would run, my stretch marks would get itchy.
Ooh. Yeah,
and then so that means that they're growing. So it's like I don't really want to worsen that because they're really bad.
You got tons of stretch marks on your butt. You gotta stop getting implants.
Well, I know my butt's getting so big that at this point I'm like, but it's so nice. Like
nice and plumpy.
I got that dump truck.
Speaking of dump truck, I'm gonna get some candy corn.
Ooh, nice. I think does it taste stale?
No, it tastes stale.
No, it's
I
fine.
hear the little chews.
I don't think candy gets stale.
It can, yeah.
Well, it can.
Sure.
Well, that was covered.
Yeah, it was covered. That's what I'm thinking. There are little holes in here, but I ripped the handle off.
Oh, okay. Because you also ripped the bag open last week.
Yeah, that's true.
I can actually smell this candle a little bit today.
Oh yeah,
I can smell it a lot more too. Yeah.
I love the smell of that candle. I got it at Target.
Pretty nice.
I wish I had my full smell back, but
yeah, though, like in the summer, I won't burn candles. It just doesn't. It feels weird to me. And then even in the spring, I won't burn candles.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as late September, October starts, it's like I'm constantly burning pumpkin candles or fall candles, and then in the
Christmas candles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a sugar cookie one.
Yeah, sugar cookie's really good. But
I feel like there was one sugar cookie candle we
really
got.
Sweet.
That was like it felt like getting a cavity just smelling it.
Yeah, how is a candle sweet? It's so weird.
I have no idea.
Did they actually put sugar in there?
I don't know. Well, our smell is directly correlated with our taste buds. So in some way, I think, I don't know. Maybe it recognizes the.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works.
The smell, maybe. I don't know.
I know I tried to smoke a candle one time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get high?
No. How would you get high from a candle? Unless it's a weed candle or something.
What in the world?
No, one time I blew the candle out and I collected the smoke in the little glass thing.
Oh,
and then I went and inhaled it all. And it immediately filled my whole nose and throat with like cherry flavor or something. I think it was like a fruity candle. And it felt like my throat was coated in it.
Did you like pretend
I was
to be high?
gagging. No, I was gagging, dying.
It's like that one time where
I smoked leaves.
Yeah, that was so stupid. I don't know.
A bunch of maple leaves or something.
I swear, there was something missing when I was younger. Like,
I think everyone has something missing.
Everybody has something.
I grabbed a paper, like straight up paper with the lines and everything, the blue lines.
Some notebook paper.
Yeah, you weren't with me.
No.
Okay, it was me and one of my other old friends. I don't know, we were stupid. So anyway, we grabbed the paper. For whatever reason, like I said, I don't know what I was thinking. Like I was definitely missing something, but we put like leaves and those little the needles.
The pine needles?
Pine needles. And then we like put them in the big paper. Like we didn't even trim the paper. We had like a huge paper.
Oh
we
my.
rolled it up and we started lighting it and smoking it. Like I can't look back and see like that. Like
is that why you like the evergreen candles so much?
Yeah.
You got addicted to the pine needles?
I need help. It's just so stupid. Like I don't understand that.
That sounds like something Joe Rogan would endorse.
Yeah.
Like smoking a bunch of random natural stuff.
Yeah. He gets really, really defensive on that kind of stuff.
Wasn't he taking like a horse dewormer or something to get rid of COVID?
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about that. That's actually I don't know the details, but I've heard it's actually really dangerous to do that. To take that.
People were overdosing on it because it wasn't for that.
Yeah, although a lot of people, well, I don't know. There's like miscommunication. But
I don't want to give misinformation.
Yeah, we don't want to get into anything like that. YouTube will be like, you're done.
Oh yeah, exactly. They probably will just flag it because we mentioned COVID.
Probably.
Oh
yeah.
I don't know.
That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, but you want to jump into the game now?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's non-spoiler section, and
That's
then
true.
Yeah,
spoiler section later on.
The spoiler section will probably be pretty short today.
Yeah,
like it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna give fair warning before, so we don't mess anyone up. Last week I spoiled a movie, and I had to cut that out.
Oh yeah, just casually said the ending of like a really popular movie.
Yeah, but we don't spoil that.
Oh wait, actually, before what are your guys' thoughts on Battlefield?
Oh, I haven't played it.
Chug, you did.
I do like it.
Like, okay. I mean, like, if we're like critically
compared to 4.
Yes. Okay. There's a few things that I've noticed in it that need a little help, but obviously this is the beta that's out right now, and they have literally a month to improve whatever they need to improve. So I have high hopes for them. Even if they postpone it till maybe January, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But the movement is very smooth.
It looks really good.
It's very kind of like Modern Warfare smooth.
Very. But the thing is, it's unlimited attack sprint.
Yeah, that one, I don't know.
They gotta decrease it to have like some sort of cooldown.
But why?
It's ridiculous. Like it's like your person has unlimited stamina.
But it's a video game. Does it really matter that much?
doesn't.
Does it
so
affect gameplay?
Not so much of that. It's more of like it's more of a balancing thing, I think. Because like you wouldn't give a gun, like you give a gun pros and cons, and you give like certain operators pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like why would you use like, let's say, the grappling guy to get around the map easier? I mean, there is verticality, but like if you can just tack sprint across, or why would you use a vehicle if you can tack sprint the whole time?
The thinking might be that since the maps are larger than ever before, you kind of need to go fast if you don't have a vehicle.
Well, that's why they give you more vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
But also it could also be that they're giving it to everybody right now for testing. So
to see the reception.
Yeah, exactly. They're just basically testing it to see what the final product is going to be. Like, it might actually be, because there's going to be like 12 to 14 specialists when the game comes out. And there's only 4 in the beta. And so my thinking is they're going to give one of these specialists the ability to tack sprint unlimited. And then like make everybody else have a cooldown.
I mean, the other thing is that Battlefield is known for, I mean, obviously it's Battlefield, it's a video game, but there is like a sense of realism to it that you don't get with like Call of Duty.
That's true.
And like just unlimited tack sprint just seems like too unrealistic.
COD doesn't even do unlimited tack sprint.
Yeah.
Well, one of my complaints about even the other Battlefield games, which I think they may have fixed by adding more vehicles, but you spend a lot of time running if you don't spawn on a teammate, and it can get annoying if you're all the way across the map and have to sprint over.
Yeah.
And the tack sprint would kind of help that a bit, but if they added that many vehicles, then it might actually help.
Well, that's well, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna do the system, but with Modern Warfare, you can tack sprint, like especially with Warzone, because Warzone's a bigger map, so you can, if you don't have a vehicle, you can tack sprint, but that's the slide canceling resets the tack sprint. So 2 slide cancels resets the tack sprint, and then you can, it's basically unlimited, but you have to do the slide cancel.
Yeah.
So if they did something like that where you can reset it, like I don't know if that's necessarily an exploit. Like obviously it's in there somehow,
you could just
like
do
they
it.
added it in some way, or they had that loophole. But I could see that, because then there'll be somewhat of a skill gap, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
There'll be people that don't really either don't want to do it or they don't know how to do it, and then there'll be the people that really want to get into the action and they know those loopholes to get around the map faster.
Pretty much.
You said they made the planes easier to fly?
They made all the vehicles easier to use.
Which I do like that.
So it's a little bit easier to fly helicopters, fly planes.
Because what you would
like
get
that.
in other Battlefield games would be the one person that only plays plane or only plays tank. They play that the entire time and get 60 kills and destroy everyone.
I don't like that.
If they reduce the skill gap, then more people will be able to take them on or even use those vehicles.
There is less campiness though.
For now, anyway.
Well, okay, the thing is, the maps are, obviously there's the snipers, but the maps are so large that you don't run into as many people. Even though there's literally 64 people on the other team, you don't run into as many people, and so you're kind of forced to move.
Did you get a lot of bots? Did you see a lot of them?
Yeah, there was more players than bots.
Because I was gonna say, like, for me, that's one thing that I'm kind of iffy still about. Like, obviously, I know that they're making a whole, like, a way bigger scene, but like, I feel like there's a sense of like degrading to like the pride that you get for getting a high kill game, because then you know that some of those are bots.
Does it count as a kill?
It does.
I mean, it's not really a big deal. I'm just saying, like,
but it doesn't count as a person.
What does that mean?
So
they separate it.
So how it works is, if there is people, let's say on an objective, it'll show you like a percentage meter. Like there's 3 people of your team in this objective, and let's say 5 people of the other team on the objective. The thing is, I haven't seen AIs count in that percentage. As in, if you have 3 people on your team in that objective and they have 5, they might have 8 because there's maybe 3 AI with them.
And I would imagine a player kill would be more points than a non-player kill.
It is.
Okay, so people killing bots the entire time won't dominate the leaderboard?
I mean, there is no leaderboard.
What?
Wait,
There's no scoreboard?
There is, but it is designated by squad. So basically, it's your whole squad's point system.
I want to see how I stack up against everyone else.
So they're really hitting teamwork hard on
They
this
want to
one.
hit teamwork. more in this one. Like
I can see that
like
with the operators.
you have your whole squad, and then at the end it'll show you how many kills your entire squad got, and then how many this and that.
That could be interesting.
And I actually kind of like it because I mean you can't really check the other players.
So you can't check how many kills you have?
You can.
Oh, okay.
It's at the top right, but the thing is, at the end of the game, it shows your entire squad and how you stacked up to everybody else. So it's squad based now, really.
Interesting.
Which I do like that.
I
It's
thought
different.
The sniping was cool too.
It
It's really
is.
satisfying.
I didn't do it much, but it is pretty nice.
There's one guy
Headshot sounds are nice.
Yeah, there's one guy on YouTube. His name's Metaphor, and he plays a lot of Warzone, but he's like a really good sniper.
Mm-hmm.
And he hopped on Battlefield, and he was going nuts. He would quick scope people from super far away.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people can really do really well with snipers.
Yeah,
I know Jack Frags is good at it.
He's been playing Battlefield from the beginning, so
Yeah.
he
What
has
did
his
you
own
say? Did you do the
squad.
Jack Frags voice?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Jack.
Yeah, his voice is so
we
weird.
like Jack Frags.
Yeah,
We're not making
no,
fun
no,
of
But
him.
yeah, Jack
disrespectful.
Frags is awesome.
He's got a voice it's so unique, so
Mhm.
raspy.
He makes too many Warzone videos. Once Battlefield comes out, he's gonna make more Battlefield.
Yeah.
I found a Battlefield video yesterday, and it was a guy copying Jack Frags' format.
Oh really?
Yeah, like the way he talks even, he copied his thumbnails. It was kind of annoying.
So weird.
That's cringe.
But let's jump into the game now.
Yes.
Sure.
So, Man of Medan. If you haven't seen our last episode, this is part of a series called the Dark Pictures Anthology. And the games are connected in a way, but they're not in any specific order.
They're connected by the curator, who's basically the narrator of the stories.
People say he might be Death, or he alludes to being Death in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Which in this game, he actually shows up in the background a lot.
I saw him like 6 or 7 times.
I didn't see him at all in Little Hope.
No,
I don't think he
not
does.
in Little Hope. Actually, maybe once it was towards the end in the house
Oh really?
when he was sitting on the porch.
Oh.
That's when I thought I saw him in there.
Huh.
Now, it kind of reminded me of the Watcher in What If.
Yeah.
As he's standing in the background sometimes.
He doesn't
Mhm.
change anything. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't interfere.
He lets the people make their own decisions, basically. But he'll give you hints in between certain sections.
Yeah.
If you make a wrong decision and someone dies, he'll comment on that death.
How many hints did you guys get?
We got 3 maybe.
I think 3.
We got 2 because by accident.
Did he give a hint though? Because he's like, "Well, I'll tell you this:
kinda
things
did.
aren't as they seem."
Yeah.
I got one hint, and it was the dude saying something about how good of a job I'm doing. I'm doing everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Mm.
We
Towards
didn't-
the
we never got
beginning.
that. We got good. Or we did well or something. Like
Yeah.
that. But the setting of Man of Medan is a lot different than Little Hope. It's actually,
yeah.
in my opinion, way better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so too.
It's essentially a group of young adults, 2 brothers, and one of their girlfriends, and her brother, and then there's Triss, which is the
The
girl-
boat captain.
the boat captain. So they're going on this boat trip or whatever for whatever celebration. I don't know what they were doing it for.
They were going to.
the
They
dive.
wanted to go diving.
Yeah.
To go and see, get treasure or something.
Yeah. And then it ends up, like I said, it's a way more interesting premise, but, things kind of get out of hand and they end up on a abandoned ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, that was a bit explosive. Abandoned ship. And, it's a lot creepier, I'd
Yes.
say, and it's a lot more interesting than Little Hope.
I do have to say, the character deaths. If you get someone killed, it's a lot quicker. It's immediate.
Yeah. There's
Oh, yeah.
there's no drawn out section where they get pulled in.
Boom, they're gone.
They're just dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot more tense. Like there was
Oh,
one
yeah.
specific moment towards the end. Me and Jay were this is also really interesting. So we mentioned last week that we can play this you can play them together.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Co-op.
Yeah, so Chug played it alone and me and Jay played it together, which made it a lot different. It was kind of interesting to see that. It was a lot of fun.
We
I
had
actually enjoyed
completely
that.
different experiences, and we got
Yeah.
different endings too.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Jay were in this, I don't know what you call it, corridor or this little section, and we had to do that. There's a prompt where it'll show a heartbeat, and you press the button when the certain prompt shows up on the line.
It's kind of like Guitar Hero almost, but there's only one line.
And it got really tense.
Oh yeah,
we had to focus.
It got fast.
Yeah,
Did you both have to do it?
Yeah,
we didn't. If he messes up, then both of us, or if I mess up, then both of us reap the consequences of that.
And it got so fast that I was fixed on my screen. I was controlling my breathing purposely so I wouldn't mess up.
I was trying to make a beat, like I was trying to make an internal beat so I can do it, like, because it would increase. It would go a little faster.
It would go faster and faster.
And we didn't say anything. Like, I could tell he was focused because I was really focused.
And you hear the heartbeat the whole time.
I know. It's so nerve-wracking. And then, on top of that, while that prompt is going on, you have to focus on that. Things are happening in the background.
Like the enemy will hit the wall really loud and scare you. And you got to keep your composure.
Yeah. So you have to ignore that and focus on the heartbeat, like, and clicking at the right time.
Yeah, the heartbeat ones in Little Hope were not as good as Man of Medan.
Definitely not.
No.
So the prompts overall were very different in both games.
Oh my, yeah.
In Man of Medan, at first they were really fast. They seemed to get better over time, or maybe we just paid more attention. I don't know.
I think we got a little used to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a time difference.
Caleb and I were also on Xbox controls, even though we were using PS5 controllers.
That doesn't help.
So I'm pretty used to it, but it still was confusing sometimes.
I had to keep when I knew something was going to happen and I knew prompts were going to come up, I had to remind myself that square is X.
Yeah, that was the confusing one, X, because there's an X on PS5 controllers too.
I failed multiple times because of that, but you had it on Steam, Chug.
Yes.
So you could switch to PS4 controllers for whatever reason.
Yeah,
right?
they had the option in Little Hope too.
Yeah, it's because Steam registers a PS5 controller, and that we played it on Xbox Game Pass, and they don't want you playing with PS5 controller.
I actually, I didn't have Game Pass at the time. I still don't have it because it ran out, and I didn't want to pay for it again. And so I found Man of Medan cheap for like $5 on Steam. It was on sale, and so I was like, whatever. And so I just bought it.
Me and Jay, I don't know if you ran into this as many issues as we did. I think a lot of it was part of the shared.
The co-op, definitely.
But we ran into, this had probably extended our playtime by 30 minutes, maybe even more.
The game crashed 3 times that I can remember. For some reason, some of our buttons would be this black circle, and we couldn't click it. We could click it, but
we knew which button it was.
Yeah, but it was confusing.
Yeah.
What else happened?
Wait, how'd you know which button it was?
It was usually X.
Or A. Well, if I was looking at a painting, I knew it was going to be A.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Or X, yeah.
Our controls switched to keyboard and mouse randomly.
Yeah.
So I messed up a prompt because I was about to click it, and it went to the mouse and showed a picture of a mouse. And I was like, what am I doing here?
The other thing that happened is that when you were to make a decision, it would give you a certain amount of time. If that time ran out, it would say your choice would be to say nothing. And then you have the 2 choices, the heart and the brain or whatever they may be. Sometimes I would move my analog to where I was selecting something, but it wouldn't move. It would just kind of glitch and like move back and forth. So a lot of times what we do is we'd pause it, make sure that the controller's like, I guess working and then start it again and it would work.
We ended up pausing a lot.
I don't like you obviously you didn't.
I didn't have any issues, no glitches. Although the game was for me it wasn't running too well.
I never had any frame drops.
I was also streaming at the time.
That would make sense.
And then once I stopped streaming and then I played it at like the next day, I think I didn't have any issues. But
yeah, I think technically the first game they were still trying to figure out all their systems. The story's way better, but the technical issues made it kind of annoying at times.
Yeah.
With Little Hope, they had kind of mastered most of those issues, but then the story wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, I like them the same.
Yeah, I said that the other day too. I like them on equal
I personally
terms.
like Man of Medan way better.
And that's opposed to popular opinion. People like Man of Medan way better.
Yeah. I enjoyed Little Hope though.
I did.
I did like it, yeah.
And maybe that's because I played it first. I'm thinking if I played Man of Medan first and then Little Hope, I would have had a different thought process. So I understand where people are coming from.
Did you ever read Choose Your Own Adventure books as a kid?
What do you mean?
They were called Choose Your Own Adventure books.
I love those.
No, I didn't.
They were so good. Like basically, you would read up to like page 10, and then it would say, you go to the cave, or you turn to page 15, or you don't go in the cave, turn to page 20. And you could actually choose your own path.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of different endings. Little Hope only had basically one ending with minor variations.
Yes.
Medan had 9 majorly different endings.
Right. Yeah.
Which it takes a lot to put that in.
Majorly different.
They were majorly different.
Like 3 of them are similar to each other. 3 of them are similar to each other, and then we'll talk about that in the spoiler section.
But I think I think how they differ is that Man of Medan have a lot more. How do I say? Like maybe to some people. How do you say? Maybe more weighing consequences, like in terms of how we think. But then Little Hope had more psychological consequences.
That's true. Yeah, Little Hope was mainly psychological.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire story. But Man of Medan, there is a psychological aspect to it that is explained to be more logical later on.
But is also dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still is not... I'm not going to spoil anything, but everything's mostly logical in that game.
Yeah.
There are some weird decisions characters make that we couldn't really help.
I'm trying to think. Without spoiling, could you say?
I'm trying to think. We thought of it yesterday. Maybe I'll think of it for the spoiler section. But there was something that we couldn't control, and they just went and did it. And I was like, why would you even do that?
Wait, what is it? There was a section of it which I was gonna ask you. I forgot to. I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's sort of the beginning of the game, like when they're coming up in the water. You saw it happen, but the grill.
Oh yeah, that's.
I don't know how did that. I didn't see why it exploded.
How? Did you catch that?
I don't think so. No, they said something like that, but I didn't believe them.
Conrad had with like lighter fluid or something like that. I think he got out of control with it.
Oh.
But the other interesting thing is that, because since me and JJ played it co-op, a lot of times I would be doing something and he would be doing something somewhere else, and then I would be seeing the events or hearing the events, and he would be hearing my events or whatever, and then we would come together and it would link up the.
That also led to some really scary situations based on the psychological aspect.
We'll talk about that in the spoiler, but
it's actually insane the way they pulled it off, and I really like it.
It was really good. I wonder if it would have been. Well, I was gonna say I don't think it would have had the same effect in Little Hope. Judging by the whole how the whole concept is in Man of Medan, I don't think it would have been the same experience.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know how to say Man of Medan after playing the game, because I never say that.
I looked it up, and there's like people say Medan is like Indonesian pronunciation. There's Medan. There's Medan or whatever.
Medan?
Here's some people. But yeah, there's a ton of different pronunciations on it. So it could be Medan, whatever.
What is that? Medan?
Medan.
But yeah, they never said it. And the whole ship part was kind of low key. There was a section in the beginning that had that, but they never really went majorly into depth with it. And you kind of had to figure things out for yourself.
Yeah. In all honesty, I was going to say, I think that beginning portion, we could have it didn't even have to be in the game.
Yeah, I think it was mainly just to get that crazy opening, which it wasn't as crazy as Little Hope's opening.
Oh, yeah.
Little Hope's was insane.
Yeah.
But it still was interesting. It got me excited.
Yeah. It's like a nice little intro, then you get into the story.
I never played Until Dawn, but I know it's kind of a similar premise with like a bunch of teenagers in one place and like things happen.
Which, well, I don't want to spoil Until Dawn, but in a lot of ways, it's almost the opposite of what these two titles do. It's like, I can't spoil it, but I won't spoil it.
I also mentioned
it's a good game though.
I mentioned last time that I was spoiled on the ending of Man of Medan, which it completely was different than what I was thinking. Because
really?
I didn't read about the actual endings. I read about the whole psychological aspect of it. And even after seeing that, it was still kind of not a surprise, but it was kind of new to me.
It's funny because
I didn't know what was happening.
Since you say that, and I mentioned this during the playthrough, but some of it felt like a Scooby-Doo type thing. Like you were figuring it out.
It was kind of funny because two characters, they were going over the whole situation, which Kale and I figured it out long before this, like an hour before. And they're saying the most obvious stuff that we knew for a while. And we were expecting them to go, let's see who you really are. Yeah. Pull the guy's mask off.
Oh, my.
But it was kind of awkward the way they're talking about it.
I'm excited to get to the spoiler, which I think we're not there yet, but I think we're almost there. But the whole psychological thing, like even though we even figured it out, the game still tricked us.
Yeah,
like, I think you know what I'm talking about, but like
multiple times.
Yeah, like it still got in our heads.
One time, you were completely surprised.
Yeah,
he almost killed a character because he didn't realize something was happening.
Yeah,
and I almost killed him.
And that's what you, Chug. You must have had a way harder time than we did because you were in the dark a lot of the time. Like, I can't say it, but you know what you know what I'm talking about?
I think
like because me and Jay can communicate. Like it was just you.
Oh,
like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. So
there's one time where I was following him around and he was running from me and I was about to kill him.
Really?
I was just running from him.
You guys are gonna have to tell me because
we're gonna talk about it soon.
I don't know what you guys are kind of referring to.
That one and another scene might have been my favorite parts.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. It's a very short game.
It is.
It took me and Jay like 2.5 hours, maybe 3.
It was like half of my playthrough because I played basically whatever when they split apart. I would play one and then I would play the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like back to back.
Yeah. The other thing is that because you can play with 4 people, right?
2.
4 people.
No, it's only 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says play with a friend on the menu.
I was gonna say because if they did 4, I don't think it would change the play time because usually it was 2 groups.
What happens if you lose characters and you can't play as those?
That's true. Yeah. That's another thing of the Scooby-Doo thing. They always split up.
Oh yeah. Which in this game, some of it was justified. Like someone would get grabbed and pulled into another room. But I think the story overall was very solid.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, I can appreciate both stories. Like, obviously Little Hope, that for me was that was more of a like a satisfying payoff for me. Maybe it's because the ending that we got, which we'll talk about in a bit. But for me, that was a satisfying ending because I can appreciate, you know, like I said this last week, but when the developers like throw a total curveball that I wasn't even expecting at all. And then it's kind of like, for me, a satisfying ending. And obviously, you know, there's a little disappointment in there. But this one, it was good in a different way. It was good in a way where the game tricks you throughout.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like I knew what was happening, but the game still tricked me so many times.
That actually reminds me of something from Far Cry 5, which it's not a huge spoiler. But there's this one character who is brainwashing you, and you do the same course over and over and over again, and it involves you go kill this guy, turn recorder, kill this guy, and it's the same thing. You probably do it at least 10 times,
maybe even more.
On the last time you do it, the final dude is actually one of the main characters of the game. But you've been so conditioned to do this in the exact way, you see the guy, but you just do it and shoot him. And then you realize immediately after you fire that you killed a main character.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
And it tricks you. And
do you have the choice to not do it?
I don't think
know.
so. I think you have to.
But either way, it tricked most people because it just becomes routine, and you have no expectations of what's going to happen.
Yeah, because they're pushing you to do it faster and faster, so you want to get it done as fast as possible.
That's so cool. The developers made you the guinea pig.
Basically.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
And I really like when games actually affect the player.
Yeah.
And they manage to subvert their expectations and trick them.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it was like that throughout. Even though we thought we had everything, well, we did have most of everything figured out, they still tricked us. Yeah. And it's because of all the panic and the scary scenery and all the stuff that
you really don't want the characters to die. So you're going to do everything in your power to keep them alive. And I was going to just react to those prompts like nothing.
It's because I think that's the other reason is because the prompts in this game were twice as fast as Little Hope.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. You're panicking and there's something scary on the screen and you don't have time to process what's happening. So then you just react. It's all reaction at that point.
They do give you wiggle room with some of the prompts. Like if you fail one, they'll give you 1 or 2 more prompts. So it's not like if you fail one, then you just lose.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah.
But I think that's, you guys.
Let's see where we are in time. We're about 34 minutes into it.
You guys want to hop into...
We can do spoilers.
All right, yeah. Spoiler time.
Turn back now.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot involved. So Chug got a completely different ending than us.
Yes.
He said it wasn't completely different, but it was. Caleb and I got an ending where everyone goes to jail.
Yeah.
Because they were trespassing on the boat.
I don't think necessarily it was a good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine was a good ending because basically my characters, with the exception of 2, they escaped on the boat.
Exception of 2.
Who
died?
Alex died, right? You said.
What is it? What is the boat? The lady's called Triss.
Yeah. Right.
Basically, instead, I saw you guys were doing this part yesterday, where the guy's holding the gun to you.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I didn't have the blonde lady. I had Triss.
Yeah.
And I said something opposite of what JJ even said.
Mm-hmm.
And she died.
Yeah.
Like, it was so abrupt.
Like a dude just shoots her in the head.
Like, it just happens.
Yeah, and it's like, it's surprising.
It's ridiculous. But then...
One of the first major choices you can make is the character Conrad can escape in a boat, or he could stay in the boat and protect. If he escapes in the boat, he actually can come back later and save people.
It's at the very end. You don't even get to do any prompts with him.
This is towards the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
By the way.
So it's actually a pretty major decision because there's a lot of gameplay with Conrad that takes place on the boat.
Which that's something crazy because I said this last night. I can't imagine your gameplay where Conrad is totally omitted.
Yeah, he was a big part of it.
He was gone for me.
He was a huge part of the game. So him being gone the entire game is a massive choice.
Mm-hmm.
So the part we were talking about, I was Triss and he was Conrad. He was running from the monsters, which I'm going to back up a little bit. Basically, the hallucinations were caused by a chemical leaking on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you went and got fresh air, it wouldn't affect you. But if you were in the place, then you would hallucinate. So I was fine. I wasn't hallucinating. And I saw Caleb, who was Conrad, running away from me. And he saw me as a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So I was chasing him, trying to catch up to him. And eventually, he got up to the very top of the boat. And you have two choices. You can jump off the boat and kill yourself, or you can confront the monster. And the monster's about to, kill him in his eyes. So he didn't know it was me.
Yeah.
And he luckily chose not to jump off the boat.
Well, at that point, so you weren't saying anything either.
I thought you had heard me, honestly.
No, I didn't hear anything. So at that point, I was like, okay, Jay's Triss, and she's doing whatever. So I'm just running from this monster. And I already kind of, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I already had an idea of the chemical weapon that's been dispersed around the boat. So I'm kind of thinking, this is probably a hallucination, but I'm still running because I don't want to die, because I don't know. So I'm running, and then I think you might have said something. Oh, no. There was a little hint. There was this flashlight kind of shining on me, although you were this terrifying witch lady thing. So I just confronted it because I was like, okay, I'm not going to jump because I know Conrad's just going to die. So I'm going to do the other option. And then it was you. And then you were like, why were you running from me or whatever? I'm like, or I said something like, I'm Conrad or I don't know. But it was just one of those things where it's like, what in the world? We didn't even communicate. And it was like.
And I was panicking because I thought you were going to kill yourself.
Yeah. And that's why I said
weird.
yours would have been such a weird playthrough because you didn't know that the other person was chasing you. You would have not known that it was JJ.
Well, I didn't get chased by a witch lady.
Oh, that's true because Conrad wasn't on the boat.
So that's weird.
The other one was I was playing Brad, the young brother, and we were in the cargo area. I think you were Triss still. So I'm in there and I see these zombies, and this zombie comes up to me, and I have a wrench. And then I'm doing the prompts, and I'm trying to hit the zombie, and then Jay's like, yo, Brad's trying to kill me. I'm like, I'm Brad. And I'm like, wait. And then I stop, and then I realize that it's oh no, I run away.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny because you're like, what in the world? Brad's trying to kill me right now.
Okay,
like,
that I did see that.
And then there's another time where I was the older brother, I think, and I forget who you were.
I was Triss.
You were Triss? I had a knife, and I was about to stab a monster. The monster was him. He's like, it's me, don't do it. And I was already dragging the aiming crosshair to stab him, and I just immediately stopped.
And keep in mind, this is towards
the two-headed monster?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you do then?
I just didn't do anything. I just let it go.
Did you kill the two?
No, I stabbed myself.
Oh, that was me. That would have been me if I was playing with you.
So there was the very first time, which you probably swung, and that probably wouldn't have killed them, the very first swing. But then you have the option to either stab the 2-headed monster or the rat coming out of your chest.
I stabbed the rat.
And you kill yourself. So I noticed that, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this.
But also, this was towards the end of the game. Me and Jay...
So that 2-headed monster was a person?
That would have been me if I was playing with you. And
then why did I die and then it just... Nothing happened.
Because the rat was in your chest.
Yeah, because then after that point, a rat...
If that was a person, though, they would have known that I was dead on the ground. I didn't...
Yeah, I had to calm him down. Because I saw him at the door, and he started trying to stab me, and then I was like... I told him that it was me. And then I had to calm him down, because then the rat came out of his chest, and he had to not stab himself, but he already knew not to.
But that makes me even more confused.
What?
So...
If it was the bot, because you didn't... If it was just the regular AI playing the other person, they probably didn't calm you down enough, and you would have just...
No, I didn't know that was a person. It never showed that it was. So I didn't...
That's weird.
Someone had to know that they died, though. That your character died.
They must have been there.
So you were playing Brad's perspective, so once he died, it probably cut to the other characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, this was towards the end of the game. Me and Jay had already figured it out, and the game still got us because Jay almost killed me.
I was about to stab him.
Yeah.
That's
and then
crazy.
I almost stabbed myself, too, because of the rat. But you ended up doing that.
Yeah, I did.
Because
I was like, there's a rat coming out of my chest. And he's like, what?
Yeah, I was like, there's no rat coming out of your chest. Like, I had to calm his character down, and he obviously didn't stab himself.
Imagine if we weren't communicating.
Yeah, I probably would have been so upset because you would have just stabbed me.
Yeah.
That's
but
so
the other
weird.
thing is that, you know how you said Triss got shot in the head?
Yeah.
That guy, I don't know the end. I don't know what you do. I think you can calm him down some way because I saw one of the endings, probably the best ending. Oh, we forgot to mention. I'm gonna backtrack, but we get towards the start of the game, we get invaded by these 3 dudes that have us at gunpoint, and they take us to the ship because we found a note when we were diving that said, what was it called? Gold?
Manchurian gold.
Yeah, which is a code name for the chemical that was released on the boat.
But these fishermen who came back to rob you just wanted money.
Yeah.
Because Caleb didn't see this part, but the fishermen show up and ram into the buoy when he was diving, and Conrad, who's a rich boy, starts chucking all the money into the water just to taunt them. And then they just get off and leave. So he was just being a jerk and throwing all the money into the water.
Yeah.
So they come back later trying to kidnap them for ransom for the rich parents.
So then they find that note and then they go to the boat. But probably the best ending, I think, that I saw was that obviously the best ending is either you get saved by Conrad, like Chug's, or you get the activator, whatever you call it.
Yeah, it was the I forget what it's called.
Yeah, there's like a key thing that one of the bad guys had.
It made the motor run on the boat.
Yeah. But yeah, probably the best one is that guy with the bandana with a gun. I think you can calm him down because one of the endings, all of you survive plus him, and he's all right, and he's cooled down and he's fine, and they all leave on the boat, and it's all good.
Mine got destroyed.
Yeah,
Your boat?
same with the activator, the key.
Yeah, the
Activator,
cap, whatever that was called.
He got destroyed.
What was I saying? Oh, the main leader who kidnapped you, he gets killed by inhaling too much of the chemical. And then there's an Asian guy that's there, and you end up drowning him. I think you have a choice. I'm not sure.
When you were drowning him? Well, yeah.
Wait, you were going to see, you saw multiple Brads, right?
Yeah, I saw multiple Brads. It was, no, multiple
or
Alexes.
The older brother.
I saw Jay, and he was, there was 2 Alexes. I knew he was playing Jay, and he was drowning one of them. I didn't know who.
Did you stop him?
No, I couldn't. I can either say stop or stop drowning, which I did that, or I said you're gonna kill him, and the other one was like, what's happening or something. I don't know.
Wait, so the Chinese or that guy drowned?
Yeah, I drowned him.
Killed him.
Oh,
what happened for you?
I didn't know who was who, so I stopped him.
How'd you stop him?
The blonde girl.
Yeah, I was
the blonde girl. I told him to stop, and then
you just don't do the prompts.
No, I told him to stop.
I told you to stop, but I think you finished him anyway.
Because I had to spam the prompts to hold him underwater.
Oh, so if I would have told him to stop and it was an AI and it wasn't you, he probably would have stopped.
He got up, but later on, what is it? The captain that captured you?
The guy with the one eye?
Yeah, the one-eyed guy. And then the Chinese guy meet up, and they go into this room, and me and this other person are watching him from this locked door. Like there's a hole in the wall, and the dude pulls out a knife and just starts stabbing him in the chest. In like the stomach area. Just a bunch of times. The Chinese guy.
Oh, wow.
And so he just dies there.
So yeah, because for us, he had found his body and he put him in a chair for some reason.
He was like interrogating him.
Yeah, he was interrogating the dead body. It was weird because he was hallucinating at the time.
Yeah, that's what was happening. He was in the chair and then he put him on the table and started stabbing him with a knife.
Huh.
It was weird.
The part where we lost one guy, me and Jay.
Yeah,
that was the younger brother Brad, and that was a section where you lost Tris.
I lost Tris and Alex.
Yeah, where the guy was flipping out. He was saying something about the mist or the smoke or whatever you call it. I don't know. You said you picked something wrong. You picked a wrong.
I felt like I did, but the thing is, he picked the thing that I didn't pick.
And
I'm wondering if you didn't say anything, he wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. If we just let him kind of go crazy, he would have killed himself anyway, and not killed one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
he
thinking.
Survived somehow.
What?
Yeah.
No, he always shoots himself there.
No,
you said he was with you at the end.
No.
Huh?
I said there's an ending where all 5 people live plus him, and he's all right, and he's like all calmed down, and he's good now, and then they all leave.
Interesting.
So there is a way to calm him down and have him. Maybe it's something earlier where he doesn't split off or whatever choice it may be.
Yeah.
So but the other 2 are unredeemable, I think.
Yeah,
well, they might survive in some way, but
I don't think so.
No, the guy with the one eye just always gets eaten by the rats.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
The
one thing that I'm curious about is, so me and Jay, we technically probably got a bad ending, or maybe it's neutral or something.
You killed one character and I killed 2, and I still got a better ending than you guys.
That's true.
And that's because we didn't put enough emphasis on the boat key, because we thought, oh, the military's going to come save us, so why do we need the boat key anyway?
We didn't realize we'd get arrested.
Yeah.
I thought they would just save us and we'd be fine.
But we were in these weird containers though. So like,
well, okay, the thing is, the reason I didn't get arrested was because Conrad went to go get help.
Yeah.
And
yeah, see that one. I'm looking at it now. Conrad Rescues. That's one of the good ones, I think.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Where he rescues them.
I'd say the worst ending is when the military mows everybody down.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
a
so.
horrible ending. Like they walk out and kill every character.
Although the one where they're stuck on the boat forever.
Yeah, Conrad gets stuck alone on the ship.
Yeah.
Forever.
There's one where where the people
something.
escape on the boat. Then he comes over to save them, and then his boat breaks down or something like that, and he's stuck on the boat.
I'd say everyone dying is the worst.
The one where he gets stuck on the boat is when Conrad leaves. So he probably comes back and maybe he looks for them, but I don't know.
But he goes crazy and he's just stuck there. So
I see. Military kills everyone. Oh, imagine getting that ending. You get everyone alive, and then the military comes and kills them all.
We would have been furious.
I would have been so mad. That one would have been Conrad stays in the group. The military is made aware of the ship's name. Oh, okay.
It's like the maid of Medan or something.
Oh, if I were to... Because I had an option when I was talking to them over the intercoms or whatever, and I had an option to do something like that.
Yeah, if you don't tell them the name of the boat.
Yeah.
But if you do tell them, that's when they kill you. Because they know what...
There's so many different paths.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy.
There's one ending where everyone dies before the end of the game even happens.
Wait. That's crazy.
Everyone goes to jail. That one... it's not aware of the ship's name. Okay. That's... Yeah, jail. What I'm thinking is that those were weird jail cells, though.
They were military jail cells.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it was because of the whole, like, they found out the name of the ship or whatever, and then that's why they imprisoned them, or like in a special thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll never get out.
Yeah.
That's weird. Julia dies.
That's the one where she gets decompression sickness.
Oh, yeah. So that was the option you were talking about at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So when I was diving and Jay was up on the boat, we came back up, but then we had to stop because we needed to decompress. And And so I chose to decompress, and I think Chug, you did too, because
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be sure.
Well, no, I knew what was gonna happen anyways.
Yeah, well,
you know what happens with decompression sickness.
yeah.
Like if you know anything about that, you know that's not a good idea.
Yeah. So if you don't decompress later on, Julia ends up just straight up dying.
Yeah. Just falling over.
Oh,
That's crazy.
What? There's one where everyone remains stranded on the ship.
That one's pretty bad.
That's a pretty terrible one.
Yeah, I say that one would be worse than the military one.
Yeah, I think we got somewhat of a neutral ending.
Yeah,
Caleb got
one
the
character
best.
was dead and we're in jail, but most are
For
alive.
once, I got the best ending, even though I killed more people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Although I think the best would be the distributor cap.
Escaping with all 5 of them on the boat.
Yeah, I would like that one the best.
I don't know. It's just one of the things where you would think that the military would be the best ending, is that they come rescue them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were going for that. We're like, all right, we don't need this cap because the military is just going to be here soon anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm curious about is, remember towards the beginning where you first get on the boat and you see the distributor cap? There is the Chinese guy that's there, but if you go get it, like, does one of the characters get hurt or something, or do you actually get to keep the distributor cap?
I don't know.
Do you guys remember that, where you guys are eyeing the distributor cap
No, I don't
towards
remember
the
that.
cargo? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Actually, maybe, because we're like, what even is that? Why are we looking at this?
Yeah, that's right. I think another element that made it kind of tricky is that even if you did find out that the gas was kind of making you hallucinate, a lot of times, like with the multiple Alexes, you didn't know, like I didn't know if it was JJ or not sometimes. So I was like,
That's exactly why I didn't
yeah,
want them to drown him, because I didn't know if it was going to be him or
Yeah.
not. Wasn't taking chances.
yeah.
Hmm.
But like sometimes Jay would, like, obviously a couple times I told Jay it was me, or he told him, he told me it was him.
Yeah, pretty much.
We would have killed each other otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have jumped off, I don't think, but he would have killed me in the end as Triss. He would have stabbed me.
That jumping off would have been the worst.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, he's
Was it
obviously-
in the water or?
No, it was on the ship.
And he was at the tallest point.
Yeah.
Oh.
At that point, I was like, I'm not jumping off because that's literally going to kill me, so I'm just going to confront it.
I'm thinking about doing just like a playthrough of it, seeing how fast I can kill everybody off,
yeah.
just for the fun of it.
Apparently,
that scene was intense though,
it was really
because
intense.
he was on this blade of some sort of fan, and he was right on the edge. Like his feet were slipping, and it was raining and windy, and he was about to fall off.
Yeah.
I never saw that. That's crazy.
Apparently, you can kill them all before the end, so that would probably be your best choice.
This game is much more replayable than the other one.
It is,
yeah, definitely.
The other one is just very long, because you walk for
You do
like
walk
10
a lot,
minutes.
They were very similar set areas,
Yes.
just a lot of woods.
Yeah.
Although I do like the witch trials feeling of it.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
But
But
playing it another time, I would know that it wasn't like
it
actually
wasn't
happening.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one's definitely. Yeah, this one you can replay again, but the other one, I mean, unless you got like the one where he killed himself, maybe. But even then, I can't see myself playing again. Like, it's a one and done, and I'm satisfied like with how it.
Well, Man of Medan.
No.
No, Little
Oh
Hope.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't play that one either. I usually don't replay games,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see.
Man of
people-
Medan is replayable.
It is.
Yeah, very.
So.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was. I like both. I'm happy with this series.
Well, okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So once I got to my ending, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, I guess. I was like,
Yeah.
it was a good ending, but I mean, I
Now-
do like good endings, but I kind of like it when I get a distorted ending. You know what I
You
mean?
like the bad ending?
I
I mean, that's
kind
why
of
he gets it so often.
I kind of do. Like I kind of it's the shock factor for me, I guess.
I
But-
guess it's the fact that so many movies, games, TV shows have a good ending.
Mm-hmm.
So when you actually get a bad ending, it's different than the norm.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say when I got that ending, it was a good ending, but I was like, yeah, I mean, that was good. He came and saved them. I feel like I
Yeah.
missed out on some stuff with Conrad, but then I looked up all the other endings. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
thought
then
it was
the
kind of an
game-
average game until you realized that you played it differently than you could have.
Yeah, and then that's when the game like popped out at me. I was like, what in the world? There's so
Yeah.
many endings. That's insane.
I always go for the good because I feel. I don't know. I feel rewarded if I get the good one because then I
Yeah.
know
It's
that I
harder
kept
to
them
keep
all
everyone alive.
Yeah.
We were trying so hard.
we really were.
I was too. In this one, I
Yeah.
was.
Like especially during those
until the
heartbeat
Alex
sequences.
part, I wasn't 100% sure, but I kind of had a 50% chance that he was gonna die, and so I was like, might as well. I didn't kill that many people, so
Yeah. Well, you still got kind of a better ending,
I got a better ending than you guys did.
and you never know if they get released or whatever.
There were 3 of those heartbeat sequences back to back, and they seemed to go on forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were so long.
And they didn't have that triangle where you hold triangle. What was that about?
that messed me up in Little Hope.
Oh, that killed one of my characters.
Do you hold it or do you press
You
it?
press it.
But the thing is, you were
it
pressing another
it
one.
swapped buttons mid.
Without warning.
Yeah, it didn't say it
So
was.
you press it like this?
You
tap it?
No. So you just do the normal X tapping. But then randomly, the X changes to a triangle, and you're supposed to tap triangle instead.
Yeah,
and,
but
I clicked X, and then it went boom, and then my character died.
they should have you. They should give you a couple different. They should give you chances on that.
They should, but my character died right after.
No, but you know what I'm talking about? Like, you always have those prompts where they slide left to right, whatever, you click it, and then they have the line where it's just flat and it has a triangle. Do you press it multiple times or you press it, hold it?
You press it multiple times.
Oh, okay. I messed up on that a lot of times.
Yeah.
in Little Hope. But Little Hope is a lot more forgiving.
It was.
It was, yeah. 'Cause there are only a few ways for characters to die. And it seems like you have to try pretty hard to kill a lot of them.
Yeah,
only characters die at specific times of the game, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing for Medan, but I feel like there's a lot more possibilities for your characters to die in this.
That's true, because Little Hope, they were tied to whatever way they were going to...
Mm-hmm. Their dead character
Yeah.
Mhm.
that was coming after them.
It was a lot more unpredictable with Medan.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I was going to say something about Man of Medan, but I forget.
Medan.
Overall, the technical issues, even though they were really annoying at the time, we've kind of glossed over them for most of this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
We mentioned them at the beginning, but we mostly focused on the story and the different endings. And
Yeah.
I think after the fact, we're not going to talk about the technical issues as much.
No. Well, a lot of times I don't do that with a game if I enjoy it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
unless it's game breaking, which, I mean, some of those, they could have been game breaking.
If it happened at the wrong time, we could have killed characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may be because of Game Pass. I mean, I think it probably would have been smoother on
I think it's
Steam.
co-op. That's why.
Yeah, well, that paired with being on, I don't know. It could have been that.
It does seem like games on Game Pass, it doesn't work properly. Like when we played the Medium, I feel like if we played the Medium on Steam, it would have been better. But I didn't want to pay like $50 to get on Steam.
I was thinking about the Medium the other day. I think it was before we started this, but
Mm-hmm.
it was
Yeah, I was too,
interesting
because
game.
the camera angles are similar.
Yeah. I just remember that I was thinking about that big guy that chases you around, and the concept of him was pretty terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
How he not only what is he kills you in real life or whatever, but then he also torments your soul forever or whatever, like feast on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of the victims
Spirit
were
realm.
like children or whatever. It's pretty disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game had some disturbing stuff.
Yeah.
Go listen to our podcast about it if you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. It was a good one. That was last year.
Yeah.
That was last Halloween.
I don't think it was Halloween. I think it was
I thought it was.
I
for
don't know.
It was like a 25-hour game. It was pretty
It
long.
was pretty long.
For the next Dark Pictures Anthology game, I think Caleb and Chug should play it together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or
we can do it.
vice versa.
Or we can
us
play it
together, yeah.
Yeah, we can. There's 2 more games coming out. So
Yeah, we could swap.
yeah.
Because you definitely need to experience it in the way of co-op.
Yeah, and
For
we
sure.
already played these 2 games, and so I don't think it's worth playing through again because you guys already saw,
Yeah, it
and
wouldn't
I
be the
already
same
know
experience.
what's gonna happen both sides, so it's
Mhm.
like not worth it.
Yeah, and I can understand, like, the next game, it better be...
Well, the thing is, if we play next game and it's not on Game Pass, we're gonna both have to buy it.
That's true. Well,
No, there's a
you-
friend pass.
Yeah, friend pass. One of us is going to have to pay it.
Oh, true.
If we just buy it on the Cubold Steam, it'd be fine.
Oh, true,
Yeah,
true.
just play it on, or with Net
And then all 3 of us can play it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand the next game, like, I kind of want it to be real.
I do too.
Like, I liked the concept of Little Hope. I like the concept of
Man of
Man of
Medan.
Medan, but the next one, like, I kind of want it to be...
Yeah,
You know.
and I think people just like to complain about games now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I've been spending time on the New World subreddit, just looking at stuff because I really like New World.
What are they saying?
Someone posted the other day that people are just so spoiled and bratty about games now. Like they don't just take a game and just look at the fun parts. They try to nitpick it to death.
Pretty much.
They try to find every single thing that's bad about it. And because of that, it ruins their enjoyment and the enjoyment of other people.
Yeah. They're trying to be a reviewer when they're while playing the game for supposed enjoyment.
I think one of the reasons that I like New World so much is that I'm treating it like I did games as a kid. Like I'm trying to not see the flaws. I'm trying just to see the good about it.
Yeah.
And that's making it a lot more fun for me.
And maybe that's how I think every single time. Maybe that's why I like every game that I play.
That might be true. You never see the bad in games.
Which isn't a bad thing.
I try not to see the bad in it.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
And I think over time, people become hardened to certain things and like, oh, I've seen this before, and they don't like it. But if you just focus on all the good parts, then you'll enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
That's what you did as a kid.
Pretty much.
Like, yeah. I mean, obviously, we're more developed now. And there are some times in games where developers do blatant things, like obviously like microtransactions and stuff like that. But other than that, like you were saying with New World, like people were complaining about the servers or whatever. You guys were talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
just join a low population server.
It's like you would get that in Rust. You would be in a queue in Rust.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What's the difference?
There wasn't a queue in Rust, was there?
You can get in a queue if it's a big enough pop.
Plus, if you play other MMOs like World of Warcraft, there are queues in that too.
Yeah.
They had millions of players signed up at one point.
Well, there were probably so many players, they didn't even... What is it? They didn't have... It's not that they didn't have enough servers. They weren't ready for the amount of people that were going to be playing.
Yeah, and we mentioned that last week.
There were just so many people.
But the streamer Asmund Gold was saying that he just likes the game because it's relaxing. And other people are like, oh, Amazon did this and that. But he just likes to relax and play it.
It may be because Amazon's such a huge corporation that people are maybe more apt to bash on it because they think that Amazon could just fix everything.
People thought it was going to fail even before it came out. They were hoping it was going to fail because their last game, Crucible, they completely removed from the store. It was such a failure.
That was a bad game.
And so people already had low hopes for the game.
Which kind of worked out in its favor, though, because they had low expectations.
But imagine if people had high expectations for it. There would be millions of people playing that.
Yeah.
I mean, the peak was like 700,000, which is it's like number 4.
It's insane. It was for the first week. It was number 1 on Steam charts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is insane.
But I mean, I guess that's a good way to treat every game going forward. Yeah. Just like try not to see the bad in it, because sometimes if you play a game out of obligation, you see more bad in it.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you played Resident Evil 2. We've already talked about that.
And I do really like the Resident Evil games, but I saw all the bad in Resident Evil 2, and that hurt my enjoyment of it. But when I played 7, I tried not to see that, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that we're necessarily... Well, we try to obligate ourselves to finishing these games, but that one specifically was terrible because we were up to like 3 or 4 in the morning.
We were pressed for time that week.
Oh, Resident Evil 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had to record the podcast.
And it was a good game. You can go back and listen to our podcast of last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so next week is auction free.
I'm actually most excited for that game.
I've heard so much about it.
I have no idea what it is.
I don't either.
I've never heard anything of it.
But I went to the comments of the trailer, and this is the release trailer, mind you. People are saying that they wish they could go back and experience it again for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's the sign it's going to be a really good game, because I like stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm not going to do too much research into it. Actually,
I'm not going to look up anything.
I'm just going to play it.
So.
Same. Ooh.
Yes, I'm so excited.
And then Outlast last week.
Outlast is going to be terrifying.
I wonder how we're going to work that. Because I want Chug and I to play it
but you don't
separately. Where our computers are in the same room. So, I don't know. It'd be scarier if you're just alone in the dark.
That is, yeah.
That'd be horrible.
Maybe I'll play it when you're overseas or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Or, no, that won't work.
Or I could bring my laptop to your house. We'll go in your basement. And then we'll pretend that we're walking on potato chips.
No. Yeah, there was
the Slender days.
Yeah, the pre-Cubold days.
We tried
this was like teen days. This is when we were like 10 years old.
What? Who? Me?
No, I voice cracked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we wanted to get on that whole Slender Man.
And we
YouTube train.
recorded ourselves
Yeah,
too. It was
we
so
saw like Smosh
it was
play
so
it,
cringe.
PewDiePie play it.
It was on that huge Toshiba laptop that I had with the red and the black.
and then you used books to hold the camera up,
and
or binders or
Did
something.
we use my dad's camera, or did we use?
It was one of those like open ones.
Oh,
where
that video camera.
You hold it.
I really wish we had that again. I wish
There'd
I
be
had
some
that footage.
cringy stuff on there.
It would be so.
I
cringy.
want to see that so
But
bad.
I took that. I was missing something as a kid because I took that line from someone else playing the game.
Oh,
Like I repeated it. It was so bad.
It was
it's
funny.
so embarrassing.
And your basement was creepy. I don't know what it was about that
doesn't
basement.
your basement
but
now have like satanic symbols or something?
Yeah, there's a room that has that.
yeah, but it was in his
Yeah, it's a
house,
little
and
sketchy.
it was his previous house.
And you found a voodoo doll on the walls.
That thing was terrifying. It wasn't a voodoo doll.
It looked like it.
Ah, man, I wish I can. If I edit this, I might throw it on the screen, or I'll send it to someone. I don't know. We may or may not throw it on the screen, but that thing was terrifying. It was like this little. It wasn't a voodoo doll, but it was like this sack doll.
Like Annabelle
An
doll.
old
kind of thing.
doll?
No, not like an Annabelle, but it was like a brown. Like
Was it like
talking
an old potato sack doll or something?
like a witch trials doll? Like
Yeah.
A
Oh
old,
yeah,
like a
the
potato
little
sack.
puppet from
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
Hope. Yeah,
Like it was in the wall.
it's so weird.
It's really
It was
odd.
terrifying.
Your house is possessed.
Probably.
No, but your old house your basement was
it was creepy.
something else. No,
Yeah.
and we would take turns being alone in there with the Slenderman.
Yeah.
Did you get jump scared at all?
I
We
don't
probably
know.
we probably like used or pushed our emotions
You know
farther than what we
yeah.
what we had at that time.
Whoa. Yeah, be overreacting.
Overreacting. I was trying to find a word for it.
One thing about Slenderman is that there was a movie that came out, I think it was last year, but I'm waiting for a good Slenderman movie.
I don't think there's ever
yeah.
gonna be one.
It's such a, well, I think it's because all the, what do you call it? Like, it's kind of like a died out thing. It was like 2010-ish,
Mhm.
and people don't really care about it, but if they did something like that and made it actually good, had a good director come in and actually make a good movie,
See, something like that, they would have to only show Slenderman at the very end, or even just like his face briefly. Because if you see him midway through the movie, it's gonna lose all the scariness.
That's true. Well, I think what they could do is make it more of like more of a like a psychological thing. Like there was a story like years back where I don't know, like two girls, they worshipped Slenderman and they stabbed a girl
Oh yeah.
in the woods because they worshipped Slenderman or whatever. They kind of went crazy. Something like that would be interesting, where it's like a psychological thing where like they think they see him or whatever, or like they get like images of him in their mind and stuff like that, and it's like a psychological thing. And then maybe at the end he's really there, and it's like this weird,
like
Maybe something like a Jake Gyllenhaal Zodiac kind of thing, where some people go crazy just trying to find this creature, something like that. Like the movie Zodiac.
Oh, he was going crazy.
Yeah, he was obsessed with the Zodiac killer, like someone
get-
obsessed with Slenderman, and they're trying to find him.
going in the woods and like thinking they see him, or I don't know. That would be really creepy.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's like real, but it's not like, oh, it's just Slenderman. But maybe there's like this weird, like he's like this like ancient demon or like,
something.
that would be creepy. That stuff creeps me out.
Something.
But we're way
Yeah.
off topic.
We
Yeah.
are. I mean, we're about an hour 8 minutes, so
Yeah, we're pretty.
I think we can start winding down, right?
yeah,
I
these
think
are
I've said everything
mini
I
series.
said. So mini series, it's like an hour.
Yeah,
But
our
we
normal's
talk
like
a
an
lot.
hour to an hour and a half,
Huh.
typically.
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're shorter games we're covering.
Yes.
True.
But yeah, is everyone all set?
Yeah,
I'm good.
We'll be back next week talking about Oxenfree. So I don't know if we'll publish this on our normal day because I don't know when we'll finish the game, but
Mhm.
I'm really excited for that.
yeah, same.
Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.